Hey guys, this is Nathan Hoover, and tonight I'm gonna be hopefully talking to the Writing Center regarding my final portfolio and my formal assignments. Help to get started, and I might periodically talk with the Writing Center throughout the week in regards to how well I'm doing. I might do it on Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday, just to see how things are going. Last night I tried getting into contact with the Writing Center, but they would not let me in. They would not admit me for some reason. My dad told me that they may have been on break, but I don't know if I believe him or not. Not to be rude, but I don't know if I really even believe him, because it said on the Zoom thing that the host was on and that they would admit me, but they never admitted me. As proof, it says right here, waiting for the host to start the meeting. So the meeting has been going on the whole time. So I don't know whether or not if maybe they were just with another student for a very long time, or if there was something going wrong on their end, but yeah. Also, there's my little pause button. Yep, I figured out how to add a pause button. Basically, you have the recording if you have the recording quality set to same as stream, you're not gonna have the pause button. But if you do something other than same as stream, so if you do something different than that, like I've set it as high quality, then the pause button will show up. So, yep. Now I can finally pause my video. Watch this. Boo-wee-oo. You see that little cut? Yeah. That'll even be helpful for my future reaction videos. So, yeah. Okay, so while we wait for the host to start, if I maybe have accidentally deleted the videos from yesterday, or maybe due to frustration, I deleted them. I didn't want to remember them, but we have 4 formal assignments to do. There's emails and memos, or emails or memos, technical reports, proposals, and instructions. So, yep. So for the memo, I'm doing the daily tasks. I should probably explain what all my formal assignments are. Basically, my idea is I have a video game business, but yeah, that's a long story. So anyway, in the future, I think I am actually planning to own my own video game business. So this is kind of helping me out for the future. So for the memo, I have daily tasks for employees, for for the technical report. My idea is about, coming up with new video game ideas, stuff like that. And I found a really good chapter for a book. In fact, the chapter is called Ideas, so that'll really help me out. For all the research I've done, I've found good enough sources I think I can use for my formal assignments, because one of the requirements for formal assignments is that you need research. So yeah. Okay, and a good amount of sources. I think it's like 5 sources per formal assignment. So yeah. So yep, new video game ideas for also including APA citation, in text and end of text, or end references. And then for a proposal, I'm thinking about what it means to expand a video game business, how to expand a business in general, stuff like that. And for instructions, it is simply how to tear down a Nintendo Switch, which is a hybrid video game console. And right now, I'm actually nearly done with the instructions. All I really need to do is add some illustrations, maybe improve it a little bit, but that's it really. So, yep. But the main thing for the not the main thing, but one of the one of the important things I have to do for the instructions formal assignment is to get a usability test done from likely users. So, yeah, hopefully I can find somebody in my technical writing class for likely users. That would be great. I actually made a video to my classmates last night regarding that, so yeah, hopefully the likely users would have to be someone who knows a lot about video games or video game consoles. So yeah, anyway, yeah, basically getting feedback from those likely users is what's required for that. Okay, so also I've decided to show up early. That way I have the best chance of being admitted with nobody else on. So, yeah. Hopefully we can get this working tonight, because last night, oh boy, it was frustrating. So, yeah. If I need to, though, I will pause the stream, or the recording, sorry, until I get admitted. So, yep. It is essentially 4 p.m. now. Well, in Oregon time. But it is 6 p.m. here, so yeah. I really hope we can get this working tonight. Because if we don't, guys, I'm gonna have to do all the formal assignments on my own without help. Or I'll have to try again even tomorrow, so yeah. In fact, this whole week is going to be based on me writing these formal assignments. Or doing the formal assignments. Okay, we're still waiting for the host to start the meeting. I really hope the host starts the meeting soon, because it is essentially 4 o'clock now, or 6 o'clock in my time now, so really hope the host starts the meeting. Because it's no longer a holiday, so they should be on, and they should admit me, especially. And the reason why, the reason why I do these videos is mostly so I can remember them. They might also help me in the future, just in case I forget something important. There we go, the host is joined. Now the big part. Oh, I'm being admitted. I'm being admitted. Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm freaking talking about. Hello, Corey. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for visiting the Writing Center. If you do not mind, if you could please put your name, the class, and the name of your instructor into the chat feature, then that would be helpful.
Okay, so what is it? My name,
Mm-hmm.
the I'll put in
Course.
the class. Okay, so
Yes.
that is technical writing. I think it is WR122Z,
Okay.
and then
Awesome.
the teacher is you know the teacher's name for the online technical writing?
Do you have it somewhere? Like
It
in
sh- it should be in modules.
maybe a module, yeah.
Uh, should be in here. Okay, I'm going to write that in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Excuse me. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um, so did your instructor provide you with instructions for your assignment?
Um. So here's basically what I'm doing this week.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So we're we're doing these formal assignments and getting
Mm-hmm.
the final portfolio done. So If you don't mind, I'm going to read to some of the details.
Um, that's fine. If you are able to pull up that document, maybe
Oh,
like
oh, oh,
on
share the screen.
your side, yeah, and after you have it pulled up on your side, then you can share the screen with me. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay. Um. Okay. Wonderful. Um. So yes, if you don't mind, then I can read the instructions there
Sure.
for formal assignments and the final portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What is the final portfolio in Writing 227Z? The most significant assignment in this course is your final portfolio, which will be the culmination of all your work this term. The Oxford English Dictionary defines a portfolio as follows: a collection of samples of a person's work, typically intended to convey the quality and breadth of his or her their achievement in a particular field. I, in this class, your final portfolio will be a collection of your work this term that demonstrates your understanding and achievement of course outcomes, which includes deliverable documents, i.e., your formal assignments, writing about writing, i.e., introductory statements for both your overall portfolio and for each individual FA, and supporting materials, i.e., notes, revisions, relevant assignments, etc. This prompt contains sections that will provide further details on required and optimal components, composing and assembling processes, submission guidelines and deadlines, evaluation criteria, and formal assignments. Use the internal links or the main navigation menu to help you get from place to place as needed. What should I include in my final portfolio? At minimum, your final portfolio should include the following: a table of contents. The TOC should direct your reader to the elements within your portfolio. Please use our textbook to help you create a usable TOC. The index will direct you to several sections of the text where a table of contents is discussed. Make use of the suggestions that are most pertinent for your purpose. The TOC should appear first in your portfolio as either part of a larger file or a standalone document. An introductory statement between 600 to 1,200 words. All portfolios should begin with a statement that introduces and reflects on the work that's included in the portfolio. Such a statement should explain what's included and why you included the pieces you did, describe your writing processes, assess what you've learned, and reflect on your development as a technical writer. It should use the vocabulary of the course and make explicit connections and references to our course outcomes. The statement should be formatted as a memo or letter addressed primarily to your instructor, but also considering the needs of potential unknown readers as described in Chapter 1. Thank you. um, Sorry, I lost my place.
It's okay. It is formal assignment final drafts.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Sorry. Thank you. Formal assignment, final drafts, and potentially first drafts and subsequent revisions. Formal assignments, FAs, are the deliverable documents you will create within the 5 major genres we will read and learn about in the application segment of the course. FAs are described in greater detail on page 4 of this prompt, but your final portfolio, your final portfolio should at minimum include final polished drafts of these documents, including the required rhetorical situation description for each FA. It may also include first drafts and subsequent revisions, and perhaps a description of your revision choices. If doing so helps you demonstrate your understanding and achievement of course outcomes. Relevant supporting materials. This should include any and all additional materials you think best demonstrate your understanding and achievement of course outcomes, pre-writing or brainstorming materials, personal annotations, um, personal annotations on drafts, is that it? Personal annotations on drafts, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially meaningful informal assignments, your own personal notes on class discussions or required readings from from our textbook. Sorry, notes from appointments in the writing center or less formal discussions with your classmates. Formal peer response materials from that segment of the course or any other materials you think help showcase what you have learned and achieved in the course. If you are contributing to the optional progress report assignment on Canvas, this is a great place to keep track of these materials. This should also help you write your introductory statement.
Okay. Just want to let you know you do not have to read the AI one, but you probably should read the how should I compose and assemble my final portfolio. So start from here.
Okay. How should I compose and assemble my final portfolio? Composing. You should begin developing ideas and approaches for your required formal assignments right away as soon as we begin the applications segment of the course. Again, those assignments are described in greater detail on page 4, but the sooner you start brainstorming and composing, the easier the entire process will be. The optional progress report assignment on Canvas is also an excellent way for you to keep track of your learning in real time, but you may choose a different method if that works better for you. Some possibilities could include a designated folder on your home computer or COCC account where you save relevant work, or even a paper notebook where you keep track of notes and relevant assignments. These materials will be crucial in helping you develop the required elements previously listed. Assembling. You get to determine the way you organize your portfolio, beginning with your TOC. Remember, though, that the way you organize your portfolio is part of how you present yourself as a writer. You should probably order your components in a way that parallels your introductory statement and reflects the logic in your personal review. You may also want to choose descriptive file titles that make it easier for your reader to navigate from one document to the next. As with most assignment submissions this term, .doc, .docx, or .pdf files are the most compatible formats on campus. So if possible, save your work as one of these types. You may choose to save each file separately or create one single portfolio file, likely saved as a PDF. You may have a component you would like to include that is not currently in one of these formats, and in such a case, please find an appropriate workaround to make submission possible. Here are some suggestions of ways to do that. Scan handwritten work using a copy machine on campus, which should produce a .pdf. Use a free program to take screenshots of work straight from your computer. Snip and Sketch is the program included in the Microsoft Suite, for instance. But there are other possibilities. Sorry. Use your phone to take pictures of your work, perhaps inserting them directly into a Word document. Assemble your portfolio using an external hosting site and submit an accessible link to that site. You could create your own website, for example, if you have the knowledge and ability to do so.
Okay, I would like to interrupt now. So basically now just now time to look at this in a short way, like how and when I should submit the final portfolio. The deadline is December 11th. And then the the evaluation criteria, it depends on how good quality all of your formal assignments are, and on-time portfolio submissions are guaranteed a B grade. Okay. And then here are the formal assignments I'll be writing. 1 will be a memo, 2 will be a technical report, 3 will be a proposal, and 4 will be some instructions.
Okay.
Yep. And then it says, as you develop your formal assignment approaches, please align your choices with the following parameters. At least one of your FAs should be written with a plausible professional scenario where the student imagines themselves in like an actual workplace. Like, you can't just write silly things. You got to actually imagine that you're actually the owner of this place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plausible professional scenario.
Yep. Next one is including relevant research that is cited using a recognizable and appropriate citation format,
Okay.
meaning that you'll be using outside research for your technical report and proposal, and each formal assignment should have a minimum of 5 sources. And I have
Okay.
found the research needed from most of them come from the Barber Library, although I found a few articles as well. Next one is
Awesome.
involve collaboration with stakeholders, meaning that we got to find some likely users for a usability test on my instructions, and I will explain that in a little bit. And then directly consider ethical responsibilities. Okay. So let's see.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. And then all FAs should include a brief rhetorical situation statement, like writing who you are as a writer, who you're writing to, and what your occasion or purpose is for writing. Be good examples of their genre. Intentionally consider the qualities of good technical writing. And then, yep, there we go.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So, yes, thank you. So, if you have a draft or like example of your work, then you can pull up that document for me.
Okay. So, yeah. Right now I currently have drafts for a right now I currently have drafts for a memo, a a tiny bit of a draft for the technical report, and a draft for instructions. So I want to start off with showing you the memo.
Okay.
So here's what I got so far.
Awesome.
So if you can let me know on what you think could need improvement and what you think looks good in my memo. Memos are meant to stay kind of short, so
All right. That makes sense.
okay.
Okay. Awesome. Um, yeah, so I'll read it if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. To Ideas Department from Nathan Hoover, owner of Spotlight Gaming Studios. Subject Daily Duties. Date July 26, 2028. Good morning, my fellow employees of Spotlight Gaming Studios. I hope you're feeling great. Here's your list of tasks for today. 1. Think of a new video game idea for the Nintendo Switch and discuss it with other employees. 2. Share that idea with me. 3. Design a layout for the new game. Please remember to work with your coworkers and then me when thinking about an idea for a new video game and when designing your layout. The final layout of the new game should be completed by August 12, 2028. If you need any help with ideas or the layout of the new game, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And then you have the address, the email address, phone number, email address of the company.
And
Keep
website.
leveling up. Sorry.
Um we got the address, the email
Oh.
address, the phone number, and the website.
The website. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then keep leveling up. And then I have this logo that I made on Canva at the end of my memo.
Nice.
hmm
Okay.
So what do you what do you what do you think is good about this memo, and then what do you think could use some improvement?
Right. Okay. So I think you do a nice job with your organization. The memo looks, I feel like well organized, clean. I think it's presented well. I think you do a nice job with your composition, like with the the um, the space you have.
hmm
Um, that situation. Um, yeah. Are there any particular elements of the assignment that you feel are difficult for you, or like places where you're struggling?
Um, not not at the moment. Although I feel like this footer needs to go at the back page. So like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to have the contact information at the end, and that way I feel is helpful. Yeah. Um, that first line might be a little bit off center.
Oh, wait.
If that makes sense. Like the address there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's better. Okay.
So you think this memo looks good right now as it is?
Um, so if we go back to the instructions for that particular part of the assignment, that might be helpful.
Let's see. I do have a summary that I have.
Okay.
I don't remember which chapter it
It's also
was.
helpful, like in these assignments too, go back and forth sometimes, between the instructions and the drafts,
Mm-hmm.
just to ensure that your work is aligning with what the
Yeah.
instructor
So this
wants.
is the chapter 7 summary that I used in order to get chapter 7 about memos. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just read a little bit.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so although emails and text messages make up the majority of job-related communication, I am using memos. It does exist that etiquette um for appropriateness of this does exist. Excuse me. And then memos are short and informal documents that happen to circulate within organizations and can be posted to the website of your organization. And then the following guidelines for effective correspondence. Make sure to look and sound professional as you choose words and put together sentences for your readers. Keep the 6 C's in mind while writing. The 6 C's include concise, concrete, complete, correct, courteous, and clear. Adopt formatting styles based on your organization, and remember to include on entries for your memos like to, from, subject, and date. Notice how
Major.
your message looks and try to avoid as much errors as possible. Watch for spelling errors, spelling issues, errors in sentence structure and word usage, and then spell months of the year instead of numbers. Avoid slang while writing on the job. Wait to enter the recipient's email until right before you send the message. Use the first paragraph for stating the purpose of the message. Middle paragraph. Oh, sorry, avoid. Sorry, ignore that. And then offer alternative contact information. Also remember appropriate tones. Give a good voice. And then there's questions to ask yourself like, what exactly am I trying to accomplish? How will they respond to what I'll need to explain? And what strategies can I use to make this message easy to read and understand? So,
Hmm.
what do you think about that summary? How it explains memos?
Nice. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. So, if we can apply that to the memo I've written, um,
Yes.
now, what do you think could use some improvement, and what do you think looks good according to the summary? Let's look a little bit here.
You have to, from, subject, date. Your use of, I think your language is, appropriate.
How professional does it look in terms of its tonality?
Sure. Is there a particular font that the instructor wants?
No, she didn't care about which font you choose, although I think preferably you should choose a font that'll look good for a business.
Hmm.
In my case, this is Calibri Light. Then there's Calibri. Basically, this whole font is called Calibri.
Okay.
Then there's different sizes. So yeah.
Okay. I asked because I wasn't certain if that was something the instructor like specifically addressed. It didn't seem like it, but I wasn't certain. And some fonts can
Look
potentially
unprofessional.
give off. I'm sorry.
Can look unprofessional.
Can maybe give off a vibe that they're more casual. Maybe, yeah, depending. I think this one is fine. But I wanted to ask just in case that was something that the instructor addressed.
Okay. Okay, so you think this looks good as it is right now?
I think so. I feel like you do a nice job with your organization and your use of language. And you use appropriate punctuation in the appropriate places. I feel like the design of it is professional, seems very clean, and I think you do a nice job with the composition of it. Like for example, the in the layout, the colors you use um, work with the image you include at the end. So there's that color scheme of the company
Mm-hmm.
you have different
Okay.
things there.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah,
The
you're welcome.
all right.
Yeah.
The next thing we're gonna look at is instructions. I hope we're not running out of time too quickly here. Let's see, instructions. How to tear. So here's what I got for instructions so far. And then before we look at these instructions, I'm going to show you the summary, which I believe is a chapter 10 summary.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me read this to you real quick. Instructions and procedures are important for your readers to know about in order to do things right. Now, instructions in my case, they are step-by-step instructions that are specific and include detailed actions. Okay. Procedures and
Mhm.
instructions should also include warning labels on them to avoid injury or death. In order to encourage your readers to read your instructions and procedures, you must think about the following. Use concise headings to describe sections. Leave white space around headings. Use numbers for every step in chronological order. Use white space to make items and lists easy to find and read. Highlight safety information and warnings. Include simplistic illustrations. Locate illustrations at points where the reader needs them. Label every illustration. Insert page breaks.
Okay.
Instructions and procedures should be easy for readers to read so that they can easily follow those instructions for their products. And then you must ask yourself some questions like, who are the readers and what do they know about the subject? And what is the purpose and context of your instructions? As for the structure and organization, you must include an introduction, which should familiarize readers with the task at hand, theory governing the procedure or instruction, in which readers will perform tasks better if they have a general overview of the process, warnings to avoid injury or death, and the conditions under which the tasks should be performed, such as learning
Hmm.
about the safest setting to perform the tasks, such as thinking about room size, temperature, time required for the process, and safety processes. Also, a lot of organizations are starting to include, okay, well, I'm not going to be doing a video for my instructions, so just, yeah. Anyway, here are my instructions so far. How to tear down a Nintendo Switch for repair slash refurbishment.
Okay.
Here's my introduction, the Nintendo Switch. a hybrid video game console from Nintendo was, the introduction is basically telling folks what the Nintendo Switch is and what happens when your console stops working. Here's the tools needed. I decided to add some illustrations, um, of pictures for tools, like these two screwdrivers, the spudger, gloves, and tweezers. And
Nice. Yes,
then,
and you include um the list, like the
yep,
names
yep,
afterwards. So that's
yeah. My
good.
instruction. I originally had this in a numbered list, but the instructor said that numbered lists are using these tools in order, but I don't
Right.
but they're not exactly in order, so she suggested a bulleted list, and that's what I decided here. Before starting any repair
Nice.
before starting any
Okay.
repair, it is recommended that you wash your hands and put on gloves to avoid any fingerprints and oils from getting inside the console. Let's get started, and then here are the teardown steps. I'm also thinking about putting illustrations here after each instruction, but there's
Okay.
instructions like pick up your tri-wing screwdriver and remove the 4 screws on the back of the console with the Joy-Cons removed, and then using a Phillips screwdriver to remove 13 more screws from the console, prying off the kickstand to reveal the microSD card reader, prying the reader off, and then removing more screws, and then pry off the metal shield, preferably with your spudger. Then locate the battery, find its connector on the right side. On the right side. Then carefully pry it off with the spudger, and then locate the thermal heat pipe in the middle of the system. Remove 3 screws, and then focus on the headphone jack and game cartridge reader on the top left portion, and all that stuff. Then removing 3 Phillips screws, and then removing the motherboard. And then there's my little end. I hope that this repair guide is helpful for when a Nintendo Switch needs to get repaired or refurbished. Level up, my employees. From Nathan Hoover, founder of Spotlight Gaming Studios. Okay.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
what do you think about the instructions? Um let's glance at these instructions and then tell me uh what what you like about these instructions and what you think can be improved.
Sure. Um, so I feel like when you go into the steps, um, if you mention a particular part of the Nintendo Switch, might be helpful to have an image of like where that part's located, or like a particular tool that's not included in that list,
Mm-hmm.
in case someone doesn't know maybe what that looks like
Uh-huh.
can't match the name, what it's called to the actual part on the Nintendo Switch, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I plan on adding pictures after every step.
Okay,
So that's what I
yes.
plan on doing.
Okay,
It's not
that would be
finished.
helpful, I would think.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Awesome.
Anything else that could either be improved or what you think is good about these instructions?
I think you do a nice job with being concise. I feel like having 10 steps, or like 10 parts there for the instructions isn't like, that's I don't feel like that's gonna like bog down the person trying to do it, like to make it seem overwhelming. I think that's a feasible, like that seems like a feasible,
So like so
amount.
that's a good amount of steps?
Sorry.
So you're saying that's a good amount of steps?
I think that's a nice amount. Yeah, I feel like it's presented in a way that doesn't seem daunting. You know, like for instructions. Um, it also though isn't like from what I understand anyway, based upon what we've covered, it doesn't seem like you're missing important steps. It seems like 10 is a sufficient amount as well. So I think the number of steps works. Yeah. Yes, I think after you include the images after each step or after the steps, sorry, that will be helpful. Other than that situation, um, so in the first, or sorry, it's not the first sentence. I suppose it's the second. Not only can this console play games on a TV, but it can also play games on the go when it's taken out of its dock. Um, games is underlined in blue, and it'd be helpful to address that situation.
Not
To
only
play games,
can
yeah, I don't know what's like that.
well, then it corrects itself to not only can this console play game on a TV. That does not make sense to me.
Right, you're wanting it to be plural. Yeah, plural version.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
spelling grammar check isn't perfect. It will sometimes make mistakes. So, but I wanted to at least like check why it was why spelling grammar check underlined it in blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's looking okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then we're gonna do one more thing for tonight. That
Okay.
that is a technical report. So I found research for basically my report is going to be based on developing new video game ideas. And yeah, we haven't I haven't really done much on my report yet, but let's at least look at the summary and see what we can come up with when it comes to writing this report, okay?
Sure. And if it's okay, before we get into the summary, when is the report due again?
So all four formal assignments put into the final portfolio is due
Hmm.
on December 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, reports are the most commonly written workplace documents. They provide info, instructions, analysis, conclusions, and recommendations. For the purpose of learning to write analytical reports, we can generally focus on different types. Okay. Then anyways, there are two different types of reports, which are informal and formal reports. Reports also need to have headings. Some common headings for reports include the following, like date, to, from, subject, reference, action required, and distribution list. First, you should think about the subject line for your report. It should clearly state and focus on the main content of your report. Readers are more likely to read your report with a clear subject line. A lot of reports will also reference past reports from other people as long as permission is granted. In order for a report to include an action required headline, it would remind readers to perform a specific action by a specific date. For a distribution list, the report will list every individual who receives a copy of the report. The way a report is developed really depends on several factors. The introduction should state how the report will be presented. Reports, especially informal ones, should also have headings for each topic. Okay.
Okay.
And then it's just going to be a long report. The report's not going to have any table of contents or anything. It's just going to be essentially a shorter version of a report, which is an informal report. Okay. Um,
Okay.
Sometimes reports can be written as letters. Other times they may be written like a short story. Reports can also include illustrations, such as photographs, tables, and graphs. So, what do you think I should do for my report on developing new new video game ideas based on that summary?
Um, okay. So, what have you done thus far with your report?
Okay, so this is all I've really done for my report. I've just put in the headings.
Okay. Yeah.
To
So, okay. Um, so, um, I feel like going back and forth, like from the instructions to your report, will be helpful with regard to ensuring um, that your report is aligning with what the instructor wants. Um, for example, like I'm not trying to say you're going to do this. I'm just saying it can like be a preventative measure. It can help with preventing this, but like sometimes it can be easy to like get lost in the weeds if someone really likes a particular topic and is writing about it. So going into like referring to the instructions, um, just every now and again, and going back to your report can help to ensure that you're kind of like, staying on the train tracks, if that makes sense.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, also for my instructions, I need to get a usability test from likely users. So, in the case of my teardown of the Nintendo Switch, I would need to find likely users, people who know a lot about video games or video game consoles.
Right.
And I don't know where to find, like I think it might be a classmate in my class, but I don't know who to contact. Um, I don't know who a likely user is. I don't know how to find a likely user for video games.
Okay. Sure. I definitely suggest like reaching out to your instructor if you want to know maybe what they suggest for um, ways to ways to like find a source for that particular part of your assignment.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, I have actually contacted my oops,
Okay.
contacted my instructor regarding that. So, yeah. Hold on 1 second. So, it says when it comes to stakeholders, um, it might be more useful to think of likely users rather than stakeholders. So if you're writing these
Mm.
instructions for people in the repair department of your fictional company, they would presumably have exiting technical knowledge, right? Could you find friends, colleagues, or anyone on the internet who would fit that bill? It might be people in your WR227 group, but you'd probably have more success in an online group that you're already a part of.
Mm.
So what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I can help with like the writing, aspects of your assignments, but yeah, excuse me, as far as like, yeah, locating, um, like locating people or like locating
Hmm.
individuals um, who might
Hmm.
be able to help with.
Maybe I can try contacting or messaging people in my class to see if they are likely users, and if I can have them do a usability test for me once I'm done with the instructions.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not more helpful there with that particular part of your assignment.
I understand. Okay, well, thank you so far for at least helping me get started.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
Um,
yeah, I
okay,
will be coming back to the writing center probably tomorrow so I can get some more help, but
okay.
other than that, yeah, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay.
All right, bye.
Wonderful day. Bye.
All right, guys. This is Nathan Hoover signing off.